1,000 years ago. Right here where I stand, hunters with long black braids, stone weapons, tattoos on their chest. The Osage followed the trail. The animals always knew where to go, and the hunters gave the trail a name, which now nobody knows. Yeah, I'm just passing through the same space, a different time. I know that in the end, this is their place as much as mine. They left their bones and blood in the dirt here bestowed, the ghosts of the old wire road. Much later, white explorers mapped the region using the trail north and south. By 1839, the Europeans had driven all the Indians out. It was part of the Trail of Tears. The trail became the Butterfield line for the Overland Mail Company, the two-horse stage where the railroad didn't go, dipping south into Arkansas, then west all the way to San Francisco. Yeah, I'm just passing through the same space, a different time. I know that in the end, this is their place as much as mine. They left their bones and blood in the dirt.
All right, everybody, welcome to episode number 25 of Tunesday Tuesday right here on the Boston Chris Show. I appreciate everybody who's hanging out with us tonight. We are live on Twitch and Facebook tonight. If you are live with us and you'd like to request a song, you're more than welcome to do so, and I appreciate you all watching. If you're watching on YouTube, then that means you have caught the recap of this show. And perhaps you have just found the interview version of this with my friend Sean Harrison. If you have and you'd like to watch the entire recap, including all the music, that will be in a link in your description below, along with a link to Sean's page. But without any further ado, guys, we're going to get right into my interview with Sean, and we're going to chat about his new song and all kinds of other cool stuff as well. So don't go anywhere. This is episode 25 of Tunesday Tuesday. Sean, how are you, buddy?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm sitting at a cool little venue in Tularosa, New Mexico, called the Tularosa Distillery. There are cool people here. I have friends here from New Mexico now and from Liverpool, and I'm from Arkansas. So we're kind of international here at the Tularosa Distillery.
So I would have been completely wrong. I thought you were sitting on a beach somewhere, and I'm like, okay, he's sitting on a beach somewhere, but there are no beaches in New Mexico, by God.
See the mountains back there?
Yeah, I do. What a beautiful spot.
Yeah, this is nice.
So for the first time ever on the show, literally Sean just got done with a gig that ended at 8:00, and he goes live with us immediately right after. So thanks for your time, man. How was the gig tonight?
Well, I'm going to do an encore, so I'm not quite through. Ooh. And I invited people to get behind me and make a mess out of this if they want to.
Absolutely. The more character, the better, I always say.
Well, nobody's taken me up on it, so it's just me. But it's really great. I love New Mexico, and I love traveling and playing music. So I'm really in heaven right now.
Just the life of the troubadour, right?
That's it.
And so you mentioned you're originally from Arkansas, Fayetteville to be exact, right?
I was born in Nashville.
Okay.
But I grew up in Fayetteville, and I claim Nashville as my birth town only. And I claim Fayetteville as my hometown, because that is home for sure. But I've lived in Europe and in Texas and other places too. And but I love Fayetteville, Arkansas, and I'll always go back. I hope I live the rest of my days in Fayetteville.
So what do you owe all the travel for? Was it military? Was it musicianship? What was it?
My father was a writer and a university writing teacher. professor of creative writing, and he was a really good writer. He wrote books and movies. His most famous was Rollerball, and so he received some paid years off to practice his art, like a Guggenheim Foundation grant. And there was another one, I can't remember what it was now, but he chose to take his family to Europe during those years off. And he wrote, and I learned how to go busking on the streets of Paris, London, Rome, Bath, and all around, really. Anywhere we go, I'd grab my guitar and harmonica and go hit the streets.
Man, what a life, man. So you're almost kind of born in the wrong century, kind of, huh?
I don't know. I'm liking it for the most part. But yeah, I was kind of a old school folky as young as 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
Listening to the first Dylan and Woody Guthrie and Peter, Paul and Mary, a lot of good old stuff. And then, I was paying attention when the electric guitar became popular. I remember exactly where I was when the Beatles were on the Ed Sullivan Show. And that kind of wrote a script for me for the rest of my life. I kind of transitioned from folk to electric, and now it all kind of mashes up together.
Yeah, the electric kind of it's prevalent in folk now. It's got its spot there. So that's kind of really good for you, I imagine, with those dual influences.
Well, I'll take it.
Yeah,
I don't know any other way, so I'll take it.
So you mentioned your dad was kind of famous for long form writing, and obviously you're more of a short form writer, and with the same kind of thing, but you're telling your stories in 3 minutes, or in a folk world 5 minutes. So how much did you learn from your dad that you're able to apply into your own creativeness?
I paid a lot of attention to the lessons he had to teach, and I even attended some of his courses at the University of Arkansas. I apply a lot of that. Like, one of his rules for storytelling is start strong and end lyrical. And I try to apply that to my songs. The opening line of a song, there's a fly buzzing me. I'm not losing my mind. I apply that to my songwriting because I like to tell stories. And so you got to start strong and kind of pull them in and make them want to know what's going on here. And end lyrical is just sort of to tie it up nicely at the end.
And being an independent, and especially a folk musician, do you feel like that's really necessary to have the freedom to not put a kind of a barrier or a wall on your art? In other words, if the story isn't told in 3 minutes, then the song is going to be longer than that. You're cool with that because of that freedom and that independentness, right?
You're right, Chris. Some of the songs on my new album are 6 or even 6 minutes or longer.
Yeah.
And it's not because I couldn't tell the story faster. It's that the music is just as important as the story. And so I don't know. My songs have gotten longer. A few of them are short, but this new album, I've got a CD copy here. It only has 8 songs on it. I planned 16, but I pared it down until there's only 8. On the same day this releases, Friday, on all the streaming media and all that, I have a 4-song EP coming out as well.
Wow.
Now, I'm not going to print a disc of it, but it'll be on all the streaming platforms.
So it's a dual release, essentially.
Well, those 4 acoustic songs just didn't fit. And I tried to make them fit. And I thought, well, who cares whether they fit or not? And I decided I made this to be listened to like an old style LP. You drop the needle and listen to the whole album. And people don't do that much anymore. But I sort of arranged this to be listened to like an album. And the 4 acoustic songs, I couldn't get them to fit. So I decided, well, I'm still going to release them. So I'll just release them as an EP, as an acoustic EP. So I've got a full band, full production, 8-song LP coming out Friday, and a 4-song acoustic EP.
And when you say it doesn't fit, I want you to to clarify, because I'm pretty sure I know what you mean. You don't mean in a time way, but more of an artistic way, right? They don't fit artistically.
It didn't flow. It interrupted the flow.
Yeah.
And those 4 acoustic songs were recorded in a different place and at a different time, and with just me basically, and a little pedal steel and some dobro added later. But they were recorded under different circumstances, and I think that's why I felt like they didn't fit. It would have been fine to put them on there, but I just decided they're probably better off on their own, because they work together, but they don't work very well with the fully produced full band sound.
I love to hear you say the word flow, because I feel like that's one of the things that's missing on today's musical landscape, because of the way that everything is so instant, like you have singles and lower song EPs. Like I've seen EPs with 2 or even 3 songs on it, which I think is ridiculous, but that flow is missing from the full record things that we grew up with, right? Like I'm thinking of the 80s. Like you listen to a record like Thriller from Michael Jackson, every song goes into the next song, and it's meant to be that way. That flow is kind of missing nowadays, isn't it? I
think it is. And people they listen to singles and they make their own playlists of their favorite singles. And so and that's you said it better than I did, Chris. I want this album to flow, and these 8 songs go together. They belong together. The other 4, for whatever reason, even if it's in my head, didn't belong and interrupted the flow, so they're out. They have their own flow on their own EP. I'm kind of, my formative years were actually even in the 60s. I was just a kid, like 5 years old when the Beatles came on, Ed Sullivan, and that changed everything for everybody, right? And so, but up until that moment, and up until the electric guitar became so ubiquitous, I was kind of a Bob Dylan style folky, because that's what I heard. That's what I was exposed to in my parents' home. So all you can do is reflect back out whatever comes in, whatever you've heard. And so all my songs now are a sort of a amalgamation of, is that a word? Of everything I've read, heard, seen, and thought about. It kind of, stuff comes in and stuff has to go out if you're a creative. And so I have a lot more to work with than I did when I was a kid, because I've read many more books and seen many more shows and heard many more records.
How has the creativeness changed for you over the years, like that evolution process? Because we're always maturing, right? We're always learning to kind of own our craft. So how does that work for you?
Well, I think that it's been a slow process, and sometimes you don't know it till you're looking back. I learned to kind of slow down and be patient with the story, and to utilize understatement instead of sort of in your face. Here's, and I would never want to get emotional. I might want to evoke some emotion from a listener, but if I express emotionally, that's not going to do it for them. It's usually some understatement.
Yeah, that's interesting. I love that. So like you're essentially looking for feel or emotion from your audience without kind of doing that yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, that's brilliant stuff, man. I love
that.
And
that's writing 101. Writing 101 in any form is write what you know, and show, don't tell.
It's good stuff. So
those are cliches by now.
Yeah, so we got Sean Harrison here, who we have a mutual friend, Cliff Doyle, who made this happen, and super happy, man. Cliff is such a champion for singer-songwriters, and man, I've learned about so many cool artists like yourself through Cliff, and just such a blessing to have his friendship and be able to chat with folks like you, Sean. So we do have a segment here every week where we have our special guest choose and feature a song of their own that is not their song. And Sean's pick of the week is a song called, let me get to it. It's a song called I'd Stop the Rain by Gurf Morlix, who is not somebody I had heard of before, and I'm excited about this. I always blind react to these picks of the week, so I have not heard this song yet. But tell us why you picked this one, Sean.
Well, I'm a fan of Gurf. We've become friends in the past year or so, and he plays lead guitar on the eighth and final song on my new album, and I'm thrilled that he did. He did a perfect job of it. And so I've listened to a lot of Gurf. He produced Lucinda Williams, who I grew up with.
Yeah.
He played with Warren Zevon. He's been around. And in his own music, he finds such unusual sounds and tones in keyboard, guitar, bass, and drums that it's like, well, it's music to my ears. It's just, I just like the sounds he makes. And he's a good lyric writer and storyteller. And but what I like best about I'd Stop the Rain is the quirky sounds. So you'll hear it.
Nice.
It's pretty unavoidable.
I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I blind react to the picks of the week every week, unless it's a song I've heard already, obviously, which doesn't happen a lot, which I love. That's why I do it. I think it's so fabulous to give an artist, especially a songwriter, the chance to showcase somebody else. I think it tells a lot about, and not only that artist, but I feel like it's such a flattering thing for the person that's selected as well. Because when a songwriter digs you, then that's a major statement, I feel. That brings us to the song that we are featuring of yours this week. This is it's not the newest single, but it's one of the newest singles. It's called "Good Cover Story." Tell us about this song, Sean.
It was influenced by my criminal mind. It's a criminal story.
Yeah.
It was influenced by one of my favorite all-time TV shows, Better Call Saul, based in Albuquerque. And here I am. I'm in Tularosa, New Mexico on tour, and I'll go either right through or right past Albuquerque tomorrow on my way to Santa Fe. And so I wanted to do something that had a real nice groove and beat because I had some good musicians working with me, and they could certainly achieve a groove. And it sort of fit with what I wanted to do with this album was a little less country and a little more Americana. So this one has a groove beat and a sort of dark story, a dark criminal story. None of my stuff's really autobiographical completely. Yeah. A little bit maybe. But I don't want to hold you up. Go ahead and let's play it and see what people think of it.
Well, I love that, Sean. I appreciate you coming on with me. We're going to play it here in a minute, and I'll let you get back to your
I'm going to have some water. It's very dry here.
Yeah. I just wanted to give you one more chance to chat about Ghastly Love, let people know where they can find it, what platforms and stuff like that, and that's this Friday that it's coming out.
I would like people to know that the best place to buy it that would help me is from my website, and it will be up on the website probably by tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then certainly in time for the big release date of Friday, April 25th. But you can find it anywhere, and people know they can hear music for free. It's on YouTube, it's on Spotify, Amazon, it's on all the streaming channels, and that depresses me a little bit, truth be told. I don't make anything from that, and I worked hard and spent a pretty significant amount of money making this record. So I hope people will come to my website, Sean Harrison Songs, and buy a CD.
Yes.
But, people don't listen to CDs much anymore either. But this is the best way to hear it, straight through.
And we'll make sure we put a link to the to your link in the description below for your website. I'm also going to link it in the live chats right now for everybody.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Of course, man. And Sean, thank you so much again for hanging out with us tonight. Definitely need to chat more in the future.
Well, I would love to. Let's keep in touch.
Absolutely. Get back to your show, and I appreciate you coming on, man. We'll get into the music now.
Thank you, Chris. Take care.
Right. Yep, bye-bye. All right, guys, we're going to get into the music. So excited to have Sean on here tonight. I want to remind everybody, if you are watching on YouTube, that the interview has ended. We're going to get into the music now, and if you want to see the music and you're not seeing it on YouTube, you can click the recap link in your description below. Make sure you guys are supporting the artist. You heard the man. Go to SeanHarrisonSongs.com. That's the best place you can support him. Buy a copy of the record. and play it, and then stream it too after that. That'll help as well, as long as you purchased it first. But here is the song in question. This is a good cover story from the criminal mind of Sean Harrison. Y'all check it out.
Drive south of town, out to the desert, take a look around. Headlights off, no sudden moves. I dig up the package, I'm satin smooth. Dirty alley in a darkest hour, I meet a fella down there by the water tower. I'm cool, I'm loose for to make the drop, and he's wound up tighter than a cuckoo clock. It was a sure thing, cast iron solid, a dead-end trail they'd never find a trace. It was a win in the making, a risk worth taking. Surveillance video will never see my face. I had a good cover, I had a good cover story, one to celebrate. I had a good cover, I had a good cover story. If I could keep my story straight. Trained for the job since I was young. Double speak is my native tongue. Fake locations fully alibi. Sequence of details unverified. It was a sure thing, cast iron solid, a dead-end trail they'd never find a trace. It was a win in the making, a risk worth taking. Surveillance video will never see my face. I had a good cover, I had a good cover story, one to celebrate. I had a good cover, I had a good cover story. If I could keep my story straight. Now it's precisely back channeled and fixed, and what I say is never what I meant. And something tells me that this cuckoo fella is gonna meet with an accident. It was a sure thing, cast iron solid, a dead-end trail they'd never find a trace. It was a win in the making, a risk worth the taking. Surveillance video will never see my face. I had a good cover, I had a good cover story, one to celebrate. I had a good cover, I had a good cover story. If I could keep my, I had a good cover, I had a good cover story, one to celebrate. I had a good cover, I had a good cover story. If I could keep my story straight.
That's right, the one and only Sean Harrison with Good Cover Story. What a great song, man. And I'll tell you what, it is an earworm, because every time I listen to that song, it does not come out. It stays with you. I love the song so much. It will be a prominent part of my playlist, for sure. I love the song. Sean, good stuff, man. Looking forward to chatting with you in the future as well. Let's talk a little bit more about Sean's pick of the week. This is Gurf Morlix, otherwise known as the Edgar Allan Poe of Americana music. Gurf Morlix has been inducted into the Buffalo Music Hall of Fame, the Austin Music Hall of Fame, because he was born in Buffalo and he grew up in Austin, and was named Instrumentalist of the Year by the Americana Association. He has produced records for many Americana icons such as Lucinda Williams, Ray Wylie Hubbard, Mary Gauthier, Slade Cleaves, Robert O'Keefe, and more. He has produced 15 or more solo albums, which have received global critical acclaim. We're excited to share Sean's pick of the week. This is I'd Stop the Rain by Gurf Morlix. Y'all check it out.
Who was it thought they knew you? Thought they could hoochie-coo you. Somebody burned right through you. I see the smoking residue. You try to hide the clues to whatever mess you've been through. I see you bathed in blue, but you wear it well, yes you do. Of them that might pursue you, bore their way into you, they only wanna do you, no, it's true. Looking for something to soothe your soul, to help you gain control. If I had the power to ease your pain, I'd stop the rain. All the things I told you while dying just to hold you, I watched it all unfold and you rolled out of view. Thought I could look right through you, tried hard to undo you. I guess I misconstrued you, and I'm sorry. Looking for something to soothe your soul, to help you gain control. If I had the power to ease your pain, I'd stop the rain. You clear to Timbuktu, 'cause I need what it is you do. Looking for something to soothe your soul, to help you gain
right, that is Gurf Morlix for the first time ever here on Tunesday Tuesday. Thank you so much, Sean, for picking that as your pick of the week. Very interesting song. Love it. I will definitely be checking him out. I mean, I didn't know he produced people like Ray Wiley Hubbard either. So that's super interesting stuff. And speaking of super interesting stuff, this is a punk rock band from Trenton, New Jersey, and they are called the Amorphous Blob Orchestra. Here they are with Growing Isn't Easy.
Challenging yourself, you learn growing isn't easy. I wake up in a panic every morning, it completes me. 'Cause you can't just have the good without the bad. And you can't always have fun when someone's sad. If I happen to fail to fit in, I'm a liar and a villain. But I still live in a place where they don't easily accept me for who I am. Still live in a place where they don't easily accept me for who I am. Sometimes I feel stuck like I'm running through mud. Now I'm looking at the cup like it's half empty, fill it up. Can't help but wonder why, how would I end up in this rut? People all around me, all they do is judge. Nothing I do is right, so it seems to make it rough. So I put up a fight, keep trying to show them I can love. The general consensus is that no one gets a fuck. So why should I give a fuck? Gotta follow my gut. It tells me that I got issues with trust. And these people pretend to care, but they just rise. So now I take my own path through the mud. And when I hit your gun, these fools can eat my dust.
Yeah, the Amorphous Blob Orchestra for the first time ever here on Tunesday Tuesday. I recently met up with a group or a management company through Instagram called Grace Under Fire and or Grace Under Pressure rather management, and they just turned me on to a bunch of bands really from all over the place, and I'm excited. We're gonna over time feature these bands here on the show. The first one I'm featuring obviously is Amorphous Blob Orchestra, but there are more that are coming, and super indebted to Grace Under Pressure for helping us uncover new music, which is really the goal of this show, and I'm excited to do it. It's beyond cliche to call someone an old soul, but Zach Aaron might just embody the phrase like no other. Hailing from Cleveland, Texas, this singer-songwriter blends timeless authenticity with a rugged edge, with an elegantly tarnished tenor voice, intricate finger-picked guitar melodies, and lyrics that dance between raw honesty and poetic abstraction. Zach Aaron crafts music that feels both grounded in tradition and strikingly original. For the first time ever, I believe Zach Aaron will be here on Tunesday Tuesday with his song Animal of Burden. Check it out.
I'm an animal of burden, I have no name. Work, work, work,
that's all.
All right, there is Animal a Burden from Zach Aaron. Sorry for the overlay that I had up there for a minute. We are hoping to have Zach on the Boston Chris podcast later in the year. I know he's doing a show in Winsboro coming up in September, and hopefully we can get him on in lieu of that. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of Zach's sound, and he's just a great artist, a great writer, and excited to chat with him hopefully in the future. Our next artist, Emily Nenni, has a confession. She didn't always plan on being a performing artist. I thought I was just going to be a songwriter, she admits. Clearly, life had something else in store. The singer and guitarist has emerged as one of the freshest and most electrifying voices in Nashville, with a sound rooted in classic honky-tonk and spiked with serious country, soul, and rock and roll fire, and sweet and sassy lyrics that chronicle hard living, hot nights, heartbreak, and other universal truths about the human condition. Over the past several years, she's enraptured audiences across Music City with sizzling sets in smoky bars and clubs, owning her command of the stage, perfecting her skills as a band leader, and sharpening an already astute worldview, all of which are on full display on her newest studio album, Drive and Cry. This is Get to Know Ya by Emily Nenni. Y'all check it out.
Well, I clamped down about a quarter after I had mostly checked down mentally. Spent the bulk of the daylight dreaming in delight of finally kicking up my feet. Once found my biggest hoops jumped into my jeans, I can really only stand up. I'll find a fella wearing denim, tight as he can fit him, see if he can keep up past 10.
Nenni with Get to Know Ya, first time ever on Tunesday Tuesday. We have come to our very first tribute of the week. We only have 2 this week, which is good news. Last week and the week before we had like 5 or 6, so that's an improvement. And it's always sad when we have tributes. But this week, McGavick Dickinson Mac Gaydon has passed away at the age of 83. Born in Nashville, Tennessee, June 5th, 1941, Mac Gaydon was an American rock and country singer, songwriter, musician, and record producer. He was also the president of Wild Child Records that was formed in 2004. Mac was born in Nashville, Tennessee on June 5th, 1941. He played with Charlie McCoy and the Escorts, and that group started playing many sessions in Nashville. In the late 60s, he helped establish 2 critically acclaimed bands. These were Area Code 615, signed with Polydor, and Barefoot Jerry, which signed with Capitol Records, in which Gaydon wrote the songs, played guitars, and sang. Mac left Barefoot Jerry in 1971 to record his first solo album with Bob Johnston, whom he had worked with on Bob Dylan's Blonde on Blonde album, and Johnston asked to produce the solo album on Gaydon. Gaydon formed his own band, Skyboat, in 1972 and recorded 2 albums for ABC Records. When he was 5, he started to compose a song on his grandmother's piano, which later it became the world-renowned hit, Everlasting Love, which has been covered by dozens and dozens of artists, but it was first recorded by Robert Knight, and it was a huge hit for Robert Knight in... I'm not seeing the year. It was early 60s, I know that. And that is the song that we will be playing tonight, the Everlasting Love version by Robert Knight. Mac Gaydon passed away on April 16th at the age of 83. Here is his biggest song, Everlasting Love, by the original artist, Robert Knight.
Everlasting love.
Oklahoma's John Moreland is a rootsy, heartfelt singer-songwriter who grew out of punk in his teens to become a lauded Americana and alt-country artist. With a gruff but eloquent voice, Moreland sings songs of life in the American heartland, wed to a rich roots rock brew of country, blues, and rock and roll. 2013's In the Throes was the first of his solo albums to earn serious critical acclaim, and the prestigious British independent label 4AD signed him for 2017's Big Bad Love. For 2020's LP5 and 2022's Birds in the Ceiling, Moreland added new accents to his music with arrangements that moved him away from roots rock into a cooler indie rock style, while he reverted to a spare, intimate approach for 2024's home-recorded Visitor. This next song by John Moreland is called Gentle Violence. Hope you enjoy it.
Gentle violence, miles of silence, separating you and me. Crystal and covered in the arms of a mother. I'm a child who cannot flutter myself free. Sons and daughters of rising waters. Hell is hotter, so they say. Maybe we'll find out when our time's out. We keep living by the sword. Will we live another day? A gentle violence, miles of silence, separating you and me. Crystal and covered in the arms of a mother. I'm a child who cannot flutter myself free. Now sometimes lately I think of you leaving. Would my heart stop beating? Would I know to cry? My mind is storming. 3 in the morning, we are two warring nations and we don't remember why. A gentle violence, miles of silence, separating you and me. Crystal and covered in the arms of a mother. I'm a child who cannot flutter myself free. So while we revel on ground unlevel, we give our devils a place to hide. We're suicidal, flags and false idols, and God's own precious guns won't ever turn back the tide. A gentle violence, miles of silence, separating you and me. Crystal and covered in the arms of a mother. I'm a child who cannot flutter myself free. I'm a child who cannot flutter myself free.
Man, I'll tell you what, John Moreland is something else, y'all. Y'all make sure you're following that man and insanely talented artist and songwriter from Oklahoma, originally born in Longview, Texas, believe it or not far from where I am and where I used to live, honestly. Hope Dunbar's music is rooted where and with whom she lives. In small town Utica, Nebraska, population 800, with her husband and 3 kids. Between basketball games and PTA meetings, she finds time to write about women like her. Complicated. Sometimes stretched thin and wanting more, sometimes singing liberation anthems and cracking jokes, always believing love is never too far out of reach. Hope's debut EP, A Woman Like Me, showcases her powerhouse vocals and her ukulele and guitar prowess, with songs and style influenced by traditional country and folk. And here is our first time ever playing Hope Dunbar on the show. This song is called Still the Birds.
And put the car
right, the song is called Still the Birds Hope, Dunbar on the Boston Chris Show via Tunesday Tuesday for the first time ever. Appreciate, love the music, big time. All right, Manzy Lowry was born in West Texas, but is called many places home across the Southwest. Consequently, his music is a combination of familiar sounds that cannot be made to fit neatly into one genre. Lowry's musical influences began with his grandmother's love for the folk and hymns, along with his brother's love for rock and roll with a blues flair. In college, Manzy was introduced to the sounds of the band, Guy Clark, Townes Van Zandt, Tom Petty, and Jason Boland. Inspired, he picked up a guitar and soon began playing, writing, and performing. Manzy is now known for his original ballads that are rough around the edges and dusty like an old book left on the shelf. His stories can paint pictures that transport your mind to a particular place and time. Manzy's compositions are unique and authentic, even if that means going against popular demand. The result? A sound that you didn't know you were missing. Here is a song that I absolutely love. It's called Is It Worth the Miles by Manzy Lowry.
I find my sanity after everyone's asleep, so I fight and claw through the daylight to let my voice speak. Busted soul and a flat tire. Maybe I'll change one day, but I scream for the rest while others rise to pray. Don't get me wrong, I'm on a blessed road, and many a preacher I've crossed. My thoughts run in deep ways into a cauldron of the lost. First in mind and last in body. I'm a broken shell. From the hills of Kentucky to the flatlands of my blood. Twisted roots guide the way of my long begotten past. I feel I've got more. Just how long will that last? I plead for the lost, broken, and afraid. Friendships found my way. On the mountain high, deep as the Paladura canyons dry. So you find solitude in a psychedelic path. My brothers and sisters, that's a lonely wrath. But I promise there's a light. Whether it's day or night, reach, fight, claw, smile. The outcome's worth the miles.
Very true. So very true. Manzy Lowry, a friend of mine on social media. I love his stuff. You just never know what's going to come from that man's head. I love it. And guys, I am really excited about this next one. One of the most unique voices I have ever heard. This young lady came across my YouTube algorithm last week, and I couldn't get her on my playlist fast enough for this week. This young lady hails from the Appalachians in Virginia. Her name is Gabrielle Hope. The song is called The Hummingbird's Nest, and this is one of the most unique voices I have ever heard.
Hey
Hummingbird lays her nest.
Such a cool song, man. Really going to be interesting to hear more from Gabrielle Hope. I hope you guys will follow along with her. Yeah, just cool stuff. I'm so happy she came across my timeline or my algorithm this week. And as you guys know, we share a song every single week from our current or upcoming podcast guest. And this is another week where we have two guests in the same week. Normally we have one episode a week, but we've been absolutely slammed with guests. So that's the opposite of a problem. So right now here lately, we've been having two guests every week, which means bonus guests, which is great. And our first guest this week, his episode is coming out this Friday in lieu of a bunch of shows coming out where he's going to be in Texas. But let me tell you a little bit about him. Country singer-songwriter Whey Jennings was born into one of country music's most iconic family names. First emerging in 2012 as another naturally gifted singer from the Jennings tribe. With large boots to fill, the young Nashville recording artist and singer-songwriter for Dirt Rock Empire, with a booming baritone voice as big as Texas, finds himself with a few expectations to live up to. Seeking to establish his own musical legacy as one of the few remaining torch-bearing country traditionalists out there, Whey can instantly take his fans back to a time and sound that his grandfather Waylon and grandmother Jessey gave birth to in the 70s, even with his own songs. Really excited to share with you guys Whey's latest song called Billboard Jesus right here on Tunesday Tuesday.
I saw Jesus on a billboard. He said the end is coming near. But I don't think that he'd approve of the mess we made down here. He said he's coming back, but I don't think he's seen the news. There's people hurting people like there's nothing left to lose. We're in the end time. I can feel it in my bones. People drinking just to be drinking and walking around half stoned. People searching for a savior in the bottom of a bag. Lord, to see your second coming, I'd give everything I had. Saw an old man on the corner, kind of poorly dressed. He had a cardboard sign that kindly said, "We'll work for food, God bless." People walked right by him with their noses in the wind. He used to be a preacher till that bottle spoke to him. We're in the end time. I can feel it in my bones. People drinking just to be drinking and walking around half stoned. People searching for a savior in the bottom of a bag. Lord, to see your second coming, I'd give everything I had. He died on that cross for you and I. 3 days later he rose from the dead before our very eyes. He sacrificed his life for all our sins. Then he testified to you and I that he'd be back again. I saw Jesus on a billboard, then I heard him speak. He said, "It's been a long time since I heard you pray to me." I said, "I never thought you'd find me, 'cause I've been lost a lot of years." asking for forgiveness as my eyes fill up with tears. 'Cause this is the end time, I can feel it in my bones. People drinking just to be drinking and walking around half stoned. People searching for a savior in the bottom of a bag. Lord, to see your second coming, I'd give everything I had. Lord, thank you for your guidance. I can't wait to meet your dad.
Whey Jennings with one of his singles from Dirt Rock, Dirt Rock Empire, sorry, called Billboard Jesus. Yeah, I glitched out there for a second. It's all good. We are back. Yeah, Whey Jennings will be my guest on the Boston Chris podcast this Friday night, 6 p.m. wherever you listen to your podcast. It'll also be on YouTube and Spotify in video format. We got to talk with Whey not long ago. It was only a couple of days ago, I guess. Now, I guess it was Monday. Not yesterday, but the Monday before, perhaps. Man, I'll tell you what, time is flying. But just really blessed to have gotten to speak with Whey again. I've been friends with Whey for a long time, so it was cool to have him back on the show. We are to our second tribute of the week, and yet another phenomenal songwriter. Larry Bastian, a songwriter famous for his collaborations with country music Hall of Famer and Grand Ole Opry member Garth Brooks, has died. Brooks memorialized him by telling the New York Post that he was, quote, a great man, a cowboy, a poet, and a true friend, unquote. Larry was 90 years old when he died April 6th at his home in Porterville, California. When the Friends in Low Places vocalist relocated to Nashville from Oklahoma in 1985, he frequently cited that San Joaquin Valley, California native Bastian was a key initial influence. The pair worked together on hits from his albums No Fences, Roping the Wind, and Beyond the Season, including the songs Unanswered Prayers, Rodeo, and The Old Man's Back in Town. Those songs were featured on albums that later sold nearly 40 million copies in the U.S. alone, paired with Conway Twitty's 1988 hit Saturday Night Special, the Sammy Kershaw 90s era favorite Yard Sale, and of course, If You're Gonna Walk, I'm Gonna Crawl. Another highlight in Bastian's 5-decade-long songwriting career is Craig Morgan's #1 hit in 2004, Look at Us. And that is the song that we will tribute Larry Bastian with tonight. It is Craig Morgan's Look at Us. Again, Larry Bastian was 90 years old at the time of his death on April 6th in Porterville, California.
In the bottom of the closet, neath the bowling ball bag full of magazines. Had a skull sweater with a ring in the pocket from my first cigar. Man, did I turn green. Hey, honey, come look at what I just found. This old picture of us when the carnival came to town. I was a Superman, Tarzan, thought I was a star in a rock and roll band. You were Lois Lane, Lady Jane. I wasn't very good, but you were the biggest fan of the man that your mama warned you not to trust. Now, baby, look at us. There's a bracelet I made you at our homecoming party. Bought a 6-pack of Bud just to get the tabs. Took you home and you wore it proudly, but I got in big trouble when you showed your dad. Here's a speaker from the Dixon Drive-In show. What movie was playing we never did know. I was a Superman, Tarzan, thought I was a star in a rock and roll band. You were Lois Lane, Lady Jane. I wasn't very good, but you were the biggest fan of the man that your mama warned you not to trust. Now, baby, look at us.
organ song, Look at Us, written by Larry Bastian, another legend gone too soon. Lived a long life, 90 years old, but geez, man, we're losing all these amazing artists and songwriters, and it's such a small thing to just play a song or two of theirs on the show, but I don't like doing the tributes at all, but I feel like it's my responsibility to let people know when somebody amazing has passed on. And Larry Bastian was definitely one of those folks. Getting to our second podcast guest of the week, the episode with Zach Maberry comes out Saturday. And man, I'll tell you what, Zach is a songwriter's songwriter. And I wish more people knew about him, which is why I'm so excited that he's been on my show. It'll be out Saturday. And I'm excited. I will play every one of his songs on this show until everybody knows who he is. But Zach Maberry is a Texas native from Tyler. He blends Americana and folk music, drawing inspiration from legends like Townes Van Zandt and Guy Clark. His voice was praised by singer-songwriter Sean McConnell for its unique, honest, and raw quality. Captivates listeners with haunting melodies and poetic lyrics. So true. Maberry pours his heart into every performance, aiming to create lasting moments for his audience. I'm excited to share another great song by Zach Maberry here on the show. It's called Heart So Broke. I know you'll love it. Follow Zach everywhere. Zach Maberry live on the Boston Chris podcast this Saturday at 6 p.m. wherever you listen to podcasts.
Sitting in a cafe like a milk cart runaway, dark and hollow eyes. Smells like gasoline, burned bread and nicotine. Sun is in the skies. Looks like moonlight, feels like midnight. Messed up make-believe. And in my mind I replay good times on the day I watched you leave. If it's love you're losing, if it's love you've lost, betting all your money on a show things funny when you just can't count the cost. Everything you wanted, things that haunted, dreams go up in smoke. And it's hard living with a heart so broke. Hanging with the riff-raff, dying for one laugh, coldest part of town. Throwing their bottles and revved up throttles, make a lonesome sound. Drive to Reno, then casinos used to be our thing. But I ain't playing, I'm just praying at a rundown slot machine. If it's love you're losing, if it's love you lost, betting all your money on a show things funny when you just can't count the cost. Everything you wanted, things that haunted, dreams go up in smoke. And it's hard living with a heart so broke. The heart so broke. will call and run away, dark and hollow eyes.
Woo, it's Zach Maberry here on Tunesday Tuesday. Again, guys, make sure you check out my episode with him Saturday evening, 6 p.m., everywhere you can watch and listen to podcasts. Every single place, okay? We have gotten to our Global Artist of the Week. This is a new segment that we started about 3 weeks ago. And this week's Global Artist of the Week is Eivør. Eivør Pálsdóttir, or Dottir, was born July 21st, 1983, known mononymously as Eivør. She is a Faroese singer-songwriter and actress. Born and raised in Sioru, Gota, she had her first televised performance at the age of 13. Over the course of her decades-long career, her musical output has spanned a wide range of genres such as folk, art pop, jazz, folk rock, classical, and electronica. This is Rise from the Ashes by Eivør, our Global Artist of the Week. Enjoy. All right, that was Eivør, the Rise from the Ashes, our global artist of the week. Just an incredible artist, man. I'm so excited about that feature every week because I am learning about not just, local, regional, and national artists, but also now I'm getting to learn about incredible artists from all over the planet, different cultures, different languages, and just super dope stuff, man. Eivør here on Tunesday Tuesday. Next up is our TikTok Stop Scrolling Song of the Week. And that song this week is Highway 13 by an artist that made me stop scrolling this week on TikTok, named Jessey Adams. Multi-award-winning singer-songwriter Jessey Adams showcases a powerful combination sound of outlaw and traditional style country music, embodying the spirit of a vagabond. Her music has taken her across the U.S. to perform wherever there are neon lights and dusty floorboards. From festivals to dive bars, her music is enjoyed by many. Her original songs encompass the thrill of being on the road while still remembering a simple upbringing with small-town roots. This young Michigan native has been recognized in multiple states for her unique storytelling through songwriting. Jessey has won the overall title in both the Pensacola Beach Songwriters Festival competition and the Michigan State Fair Superstars competition. She was also named a semifinalist in the Tennessee Songwriters Week competition and a nominee for 2 Josie Awards. Jessey has opened for names such as Cooper Allen, Sonny Sweeney, and Drew Baldridge, with features on multiple radio and news shows and a large variety of events under her belt. This up-and-coming country singer is one to remember, and here is her lyric video for her song, Highway 13. Enjoy.
cannot see. But I feel, yeah, I feel my family history when I'm driving Highway 13. When I'm driving Highway 13.
All right, that was Jessey Adams, the TikTok Stop Scrolling Artist of the Week with Highway 13. Fabulous, fabulous song. Loving it. And I will be following her journey as a musician going forward. Next up is our Texas #1 song of the week. Lucky Sky music recording artist and songwriter Tori Martin brings a fresh perspective and a sense of authenticity with her every time she hits the stage. Called a down-home sophisticate, Tori mixes her humble nature with true entertainer, making her equal parts exciting and relatable. She dazzles with her high-energy performance numbers, but is just as confident stripped back, allowing her powerhouse vocals to shine. From early life on the sunny shores of Florida to establishing family roots in Texas, each and every moment has a profound influence on the artist she is today. The #1 song in Texas this week is Abilene by Tori Martin.
Babe, how's the tea coming?
You know, I wish it were. How's the hunt for inspiration going? You finding anything
Oh
cool?
my gosh, babe, there's like a trap door.
A trap door?
I'm not even kidding. Come here. There's something in here.
No way.
Oh my gosh. It says, "My dearest Jack, we always knew this day would come, but as we stood at the station waiting for the train that would take you away from me, I was not prepared to say goodbye. Oh, this war has separated so many families. Why should I selfishly wish we would be different? I could not help but fear as we kissed that this would be the last time I would be in your embrace and feel the touch of your lips." I mean, it is wild. We just found it in the floor.
I can't think of anyone better who could tell their story.
You think so? Yeah, maybe you're right.
I think they deserve it.
Yeah, I think so too.
I hear there's an island near Corpus where horses run free. Right now a sunset in Big Bend might be what I need. Down in Galveston where the birds catch the Gulf breeze. Or a one-bedroom palace on the outskirts of Dallas, enough room for my heartache and me. I can't stay in Abilene, 'cause the wind makes me crazy. Memories blowing round on every street, like petals from a daisy. Down on lonesome Highway 90, I'll be leaving you behind me. Goodbye, Alahati. I can't stay in Abilene one more day. On Friday, the cafe will lay out the candles and wine. The couples will dance, but your hand won't be holding mine. If lonely comes calling and I start to roll through your mind, when my name you whisper, just picture a drifter looking for love she can't find. I can't stay in Abilene, 'cause the wind makes me crazy. Memories blowing
My beautiful Catherine, we received our orders. We move out tomorrow. And they tell us that we need to be prepared for heavy combat. And my heart hurts to even write this, but if you're reading this, my darling, it means I couldn't make it home. That I may never see you again in this life, but I will never leave your side. You will feel my presence, and I'll watch over you. Please know your name will be on my heart as I go into battle tomorrow. My dream has always been to see you again, my darling. I'll love you forever. Your Jack.
President Truman announced the official surrender.
This is a solemn but glorious hour. I wish that Franklin D. Roosevelt had lived to see this day. General Eisenhower informs me that the forces of Germany have surrendered to the United Nations. The flags of freedom fly all over Europe.
Special is where you go when your heart can't settle. And God knows I don't want to leave, but I can't stay in Abilene. Oh no. Down on Lonesome Highway 90, I'll be leaving you behind me. Goodbye, Tallahassee. I can't stay in Abilene one more day. I can't stay in Abilene one more. One more day.
That is once again the number one song in Texas right now by the lovely and talented Tori Martin. The song is called Abilene. What a great story. Just a great song. Really looking forward to chatting with Tori later this year too. We're still working it out with her people, but she will definitely be on the show at some point this summer for sure. She's had, I think, 2 or 3 number ones in a row now, so she's absolutely killing it. And let me get to the Marquee Artist of the Week. As you guys know, we have a Marquee Artist every week, and in honor of the start of baseball season, we are playing a double play of our Marquee Artist now. Taylor Hunnicutt makes old school Southern music for the modern world. She's a proud daughter of Alabama, writing songs that nod to the state's tradition of country storytelling, rock and roll rebellion, and guitar-driven grit. Sharpened by a touring schedule that's kept her on the road for roughly 200 days a year, she makes her full-length debut with Alabama Sound, an album that unfolds like a love letter to the American South, written by a road warrior who spent most of the decade far away from home. It's a little country, a little singer-songwriter, a little Americana, and a lot of soulful Southern rock, says Hunnicutt, an opera-trained vocalist who began writing songs after dropping out of music school, landing a waitressing job at a blues juke joint, and sitting in with the bands that came through town. She's no longer the guest artist, though. She's the main act, and Alabama Sound showcases her high-energy, hell-raising brand of Southern stomp, country rock twang, and amplified attitude. The one and only Taylor Hunnicutt is our Marquee Artist of the Week, and we are playing a double play of her. I don't know why we have this going on right now. What is happening here? What happened? Why is this like this? What's going on here? Anyway, Taylor Hunnicutt is our next artist up, and the first half of our double play will be Upside Down and Shaken by our Marquee Artist of this week, Miss Taylor Hunnicutt from Alabama. Y'all check it out. Gizmo, I see you. I love you.
Down and shaking.
That is the first half of our double play from Miss Taylor Hunnicutt, the 16th, I think, Marquee Artist of the Week for 2025. The second half of our double play from Miss Taylor is a song called All or Nothing. off in a double play of the marquee artist of the week, Miss Taylor Hunnicutt from Demopolis, Alabama. Man, I hope we can get her on the Boston Chris podcast soon. She has indicated that she's game for it, so now we just have to kind of get it scheduled and get all the logistics ironed out, which is hard when she, these touring artists are super busy. So it's really hard to nail down dates, which I understand. But hopefully very shortly we will get Miss Hunnicutt on the show and really pick her brain on her sound and stuff, because I am a huge fan of hers. That is our last song of the week. It is kind of flew by. And guys, normally I show you guys a promotional photo of our next guest. But next week we have a brand new duo, of which I have been friends with one half of this duo for years and years and years. And I messaged her earlier to make sure that we were still confirmed for next week. And they were actually together at the time that I messaged her. So I got a selfie from them, and I will share that to you now. This is Drifted Harmony. Riley and Heather, both from East Texas. They will be on the show next week. Now, Heather Harper has been a friend of mine for years and years and years. A really long time I've known Heather. And, of course, Riley is somebody I have just now recently I'm learning about, and I'm excited to kind of chat with them and see where they're coming from, where they're going. They're going to be sharing their very first brand new debut single. Riley's name is Riley Edel, or Edel, and they are, again, both from the heart of East Texas. Excited to chat with them next week. Again, brand new music. The new single by them is called Dead Man Running. We're excited to have them on. That will be next Tuesday, April 29th on Tunesday Tuesday number 26, which will begin live at 8 p.m. both on Twitch and Facebook. So if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you check in for that. If you made it to the end of this show, again, I want to thank Sean Harrison for being my special guest this week. And make sure you guys are getting his record, which, again, Ghastly Love is the title of it. It will be coming out Friday, April 25th. So you can go to his webpage, SeanHarrisonSongs.com, which will be in the description below. Pick you up a copy of that album. I appreciate him and Cliff Doyle for helping to facilitate our interview tonight. Appreciate everybody who hung out with us on both platforms tonight. Thank you, guys, and I will catch you all down the road, and I'll make sure you're following everywhere at the Boston Chris Show. Much love.